I would like to address this. I am passionate about getting a new comprehensive plan. I hear support for the comprehensive plan. I'm trying to leverage this particular study with the comprehensive plan. I have offered to contact each of the secretaries of appropriate departments. DCED has $50,000 available. I'm sure PennDOT will kick in through our MPO some money. But we also need to approach DCNR and DEP, perhaps a few other organizations. At the last County Commissioner Spring Conference, I was given all of the contact information for all of the new DEP secretaries. It has been quite a while. I have offered to contact them individually to raise the money for the comp plan. And I have gotten no response. And so today I had a conversation again. And I feel this is needed, and it's needed now. Our comprehensive plan is obsolete. We have proposals outside of the comp plan, but it's not part of the comp plan. We have municipality after municipality currently doing their comprehensive plans. We should be a leader in this. We should not be sitting back waiting for something to happen. We should be coordinating the comprehensive plans, making sure we're all getting the right data, and we're dragging our feet. What are we waiting for? I think we should get this in coordination with comp plan and the other municipalities and PennDOT and DCED and DCNR and DEP. When we did this comp plan last time, they all kicked in money because they were so committed. They wanted to see a vision for Lebanon County. Again, it's all about leadership and creating that vision. We're dragging our feet. Let's get it done. That's what I want to see.
Good. Amen. So, Jennifer Moore.
I'm sorry. Commissioner, one of the things that I have heard is that the comprehensive plan takes an awful lot of staff time, right? And I think that if we can work to get as much community input from partners that work closely with the county, that may help to alleviate some of that staff time that potentially that can bog down that process. So certainly as a chamber, we're very willing to help where it's appropriate in any way we can.
Well, I know when I come, I'm the liaison to both planning and the chamber. I come to the chamber and I get asked questions. Where are we on the comp plan? They're expecting me to give a report, and I ask for information. I offer to help, and I have nothing further to report. That's troubling to me. I'm here today listening to this proposal saying, I want to see it all work together in tandem so that we have the best possible product for a long-term future that's going to benefit every citizen in this county.
Well, what's the procedure?
Well, I'm not talking, she's talking about the comprehensive plan.
Right. Well,
I don't want to drag my feet on this. I want to get this done tomorrow. This is ARPA money. This is unrelated to all the sources of income that she's looking to do. So I'm saying, hey, go ahead and let's get it going. But I want this to be, on the agenda for tomorrow.
Respectfully, if we go ahead tomorrow without the comprehensive plan in our radar versus our rearview mirror, we're not doing it justice. We need to have more answers. We should have Julie in here and giving us an update right now so that we can coordinate this and get this thing going. It has been months and months and months with nothing happening, and it has to get off the ground.
I agree with Bob that I don't think we can hold this up. I don't see why we have to wait, that we can engage Julie in the process anytime they're ready to start working towards that.
I support what's happening, but I don't see on its own others coming to the plate. If we do the comp plan, we're still going to have to put money into it. We need to know the full dollar amount because we have other projects like Monument Park and the Krall Bard that are on county-owned or in county-owned parks. And we should be also addressing those. We need the full comprehensive plan cost. We need to know what kind of money we have left, and those ARPA dollars are where that money is going to come from because they're not in our budget, and then we can allocate them appropriately to these different resources. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think we need both of them to work together in tandem, not doing this and then saying, well, we'll get to it. When are we going to get to it? I've been waiting patiently and trying to quietly make this happen. Today it's coming out in the open. I want to see progress. I want a plan of action. I want a vision for us to get this done.
Well, maybe you missed my comment about helping jumpstart the process by investing in this and finishing this. We're already halfway into this thing. And that would, now with this data and with the housing data, it would be vital for us to invest in the comprehensive plan to merge these things together and get it in front of us for budget purposes. We have to get, oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
I don't think I hear Bob saying we shouldn't update the comprehensive plan.
Absolutely.
I certainly am not. So it's a matter of, why hold this up or delay it? I think this is a good investment. I think apparently you do too. And so we can move them together in tandem. But I guess many of the things you outlined that we're going to have our planning department do, they're not going to be able to update the comprehensive plan in a couple of weeks. They're going to have to engage some support to do that, and maybe tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, we can start talking about that.
Commissioner Litz, I would.
Excuse me.
I don't know if she's going to be prepared to talk about that, but we can start the conversation.
I think that first and foremost is the funding. I mean, we can talk about moving forward and getting pen to paper, so to speak, but the comprehensive plan in 2007 cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to develop something like that over time. There was a consultant involved in that process. I don't know whether or not that's going to be something this time or not. Even the $50,000 you're talking about from DCED is competitive money. It's not there to just, cash the check. I mean, you have to make a case. They're going to want to see matching dollars.
And this could be a match.
What could be a match?
Possibly this could be a match.
Sweet.
Well, this is coming out of ARPA funds.
Yeah.
Typically they don't allow.
If it's county money,
It's not county money, it's federal money. So
it's county allocated money that
I
may
agree.
be allowed to be a match. We don't know this unless we have it all researched.
what I know is that typically the state isn't going to give a grant that's matched by another grant. It's just stacking grant on top of grant, and that's not something that typically happens.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I wrote grants for DCNR and DEP through the Watershed Association. Those two entities allowed matches from each other for each other. So if I got $25,000 from DCNR, I could get a match of $25,000 from DEP, and then our labor, which is going to be involved, was used as a match from the county. We never really had, or from the watershed, we never really had to put cash out because there is an assigned value to what we do. And we just track our hours, and we did our match with our labor.
And I'm not certain that ARPA funds are an eligible use for a comprehensive plan. Comprehensive plans are primarily for land use and what, across the county. And, I've been over these regulations over and over, and land use isn't something that I can identify in the ARPA at this point. If it has something to do with pandemic preparation, possibly with outdoor recreation, which is something that's been funded, maybe there's a portion of it for that. But back in 2007 was the completion of the plan. The funding started to be gathered already in 2004, maybe even earlier. When the state agencies contributed, they were contributing in the form of a pilot program to see how this was going to play out. We had legislative help with that, and we also had a commitment of implementing the plan, because they weren't going to invest in a plan that was going to go sit on a shelf. Part of the deal was, we'll kick in if you're going to implement. Implementation took place later and was part of a 2009 bond issue that we borrowed and spent for implementing some of the items in the plan. So that would need to be part of the commitment too. I mean, it's not a $50,000 commitment. It's a commitment to to pony up for the study and write the plan, and then a commitment to carry out what the plan, some of the components that a plan spells out. Obviously, things take decades or sometimes in those plans, but there are immediate things that are identified. That was part of the promise to the state at that time. Is so you would need to identify all of those things, and I'm not sure that the Commonwealth at this point is in a position to say, yep, we have money from every agency and we're going to throw it in for one county, because
Well, we
I haven't
don't
seen
know
it.
if we don't ask. We haven't even gotten to the point where we can ask.
Okay.
If we can get a definitive answer, yes or no, then we'll have better direction on what we've got to do. But if we can match all the money for the plan itself, the implementation could be the ARPA funds. Instead of going into studies,
They'll
it
be
could
long
go.
gone.
ARPA has to be spent by the end of '24. Spent,
Yes,
gone, out.
I understand. I mean, the rail trail is a perfect example of something that was a vision and that I think is included in the plan. And then the funding keeps coming for it
The rail
because
trail's
it's
been
part
in-
of our
The
plan.
rail trail's been 22 years in the making.
Again, we're throwing out suppositions and questions we can't answer today, but I think we're all in agreement here that we should be moving forward with the update of the comprehensive plan, but a lot of pieces that need to go in place, and we need to start looking at what would be the potential costs and who are the potential vendors out there we can look at, and then the funding sources of, what we can do. So-
And you fellows being Republicans could approach our elected officials who are Republicans, and I could approach the secretaries who are Democrat or whatever, because it would be most effective coming from similar parties. But on the other hand, we can all do it together, whatever. But we need to develop that plan so we can get off the square.
I think it's time, and it doesn't matter about the parties. I mean, however we can get it done, but we need to identify what steps we need to take. But I don't think we can solve that here today. My point is, so I'd like to see this on the agenda tomorrow. But if we want to bring Julie in to start the conversation too about next steps
Well,
in that direction,
Commissioner Litz
I don't oppose that either.
emailed earlier today about having a workshop, and we were hoping as soon as now, today.
Yeah,
But
because
I
it
don't-
was timely.
But I don't, there wasn't any prior discussion about having a part of this afternoon with that. But I proposed, did you get my email?
I did not
Okay.
yet. I was reading that
A lot of what I just
presentation.
went through is in the email that I replied to you a couple hours ago. But I think it makes sense to set aside some real time on this, either the 17th or the 24th, and talk about this. I don't, your meeting tomorrow, typically those are about moving through actions and not sitting for an hour or two and going through that. So I would propose that you already asked for a workshop, and
So
easily
it-
later this month you can do that.
Am I hearing a commitment to set a workshop in the near future for the comprehensive plan?
Of course. That's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that's not a big, I mean, that's not a heavy lift. We've been, since you started the conversation, we're saying, yes, we're interested, so let's.
But there has never been a step taken to make it formal. This is a step to make it formal.
Well, you requested that about 11:30 today. So.
No, I have
That's pretty
requested it
fast.
repeatedly and not gotten answers.
Okay, but specifically for a
Today
workshop,
we got
I'm
an answer.
talking about
It's the next
specifically.
step, okay?
Well,
There needed to be an extra push.
let's focus on going forward.